All right. Hello. Hello. Good morning, everybody. I am Chloe, and this is Rise and Right, not approved by neuroendocrinologists. I'm gonna be good and remember to change my Twitch stuff right now. So just a minute while I do that. I was like being good about starting a timer to bring myself in to like take care of Twitch stuff. And then I wasn't doing the Twitch stuff anyways. But I guess it wasn't, I didn't do it to like get Twitch set up properly. It was just to make sure that the stream was starting right and not like mid word. But also, I have to set up the stream info. I feel like I have done something wrong with my Twitch, and there's some way to override this. But as of right now, all of my streams come up as podcasts. This is not a podcast. Oh, God. Also, I'm having window height issue. It'd be really cool if Chrome, this could be everybody. It probably is everybody, not just Chrome, but it'd be really cool if they got their shit together so that pop-up windows that were like bigger than the screen didn't destroy the world. But here we are. So right now I'm trying to fight over two windows. There we go. Good morning. Anyways, good morning, Courtney. I am bright-eyed and bushy-tailed right now because I'm getting in a fight on AuthorTubers. Anyways, some people think that these sprints are a waste of time, and not just for themselves, because like I can absolutely respect the fact that these virtual write-ins / writing sprints are not for everybody. Like absolutely, this is fair. They are not for everybody. Some people do not need this environment. It is totally fine. I have all due respect for them. This is not for everybody. But I'm going to take exception when you say that it is for nobody and that this is not effective for anybody. And that if this is effective for you, you are basically a rare unicorn. I have issues with anybody who bashes anybody else's technique. Yeah, Courtney, this one is actually in the AuthorTuber Facebook group. So it's hitting a little closer to home than usual. And the issue that I'm having with this is that usually that group is pretty cool. It's a very rare that I have these random outbursts of toxicity in that group, where again, it's all about how you say what you say. It is absolutely fine to be of the opinion that they don't work for you, but to say that they are a bad habit, and that it is not possible to effectively multitask, and that somehow being on YouTube means that the Pomodoro technique will not work. The fact that you are listening to me or interacting with me and our 5-minute breaks negates the effectiveness of this pulse creativity technique. Is I don't know, like I don't understand, like the way. Oh God, Alexa is getting in on this. Oh shit, I I said her name again. Anyways, she's mad at me now. Anyways, let's go ahead and do our first sprint, and then we will ruin everything by taking a 5-minute break after this sprint. Oh damn, I am on the wrong screen. It's okay. Alt tab out of that. Oh god, alt escape out of that. There we go. Sorry. La Monique, it's just a drama happening on the AuthorTube Facebook group that has been fairly drama-free for a while now. Or we at least keep the drama out of the actual Facebook group. And if it's not on Facebook, then I don't know the drama, because I'm pretty ancillary to the rest of the group, which is not is neither a good thing or a bad thing. It just is. So like when there's drama in like actual YouTube, I miss it. But when it's actually in the Facebook group, then I'm in. Okay, so we're gonna go for 10 minutes to get ourselves started. And when we come back, we'll talk about what we're actually working on. So it is 8:17 here in Atlanta. So I'll see you guys. Excuse me, it's 8:07 in Atlanta. So I'll see you guys at 8:17. Okay, that was time. Sorry, I'm having like weird, dumb technical difficulties. I am working on the short story that I started last night. This morning, I got off for a couple of days because of house stress, sick cat. So I'm behind by 1.5 right now. I won't be able to make it up tonight because I do have a Bob Ross off tonight, but that's fine. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm kind of struggling. It's a stupid short story. I shouldn't be struggling through these. I'm supposed to be writing one a day and just spamming them on Medium, and instead I have started and deleted this scene 3 times. I don't know why I'm doing this, except that the story that I wrote yesterday was super intense, and this one is supposed to be bubble fluff, and bubble fluff is not working. So on this topic of streaming, Courtney says that she focuses better on a stream. It also helps to be disciplined with scheduling. She always knows that she'll be writing at 8 a.m. on Tuesdays. Every Monday night, I'm like, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this. And then for some reason, Tuesday, I wake up fine. And I always feel good for my 8 a.m. shows on Tuesday. And I feel like ass for my 10 a.m. or my 8 a.m. shows on Friday. That's why I moved the 8 a.m. back on Friday. But because of that, I always have this fear on Monday night that like everything is going to go to hell and I'm not going to be able to do this 8 a.m. show. But I don't think I've ever once canceled this show. But yes, that is, I don't, this whole argument that's going on that, that post on AuthorTube is really, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of getting into weird non-points in it. And ignoring points like this, because I did absolutely say this, that it does help. So for what Courtney is saying, and also what La Monique is saying, that it makes us feel like we have coworkers again. Whether, you're coming, like, sorry, not getting words right. I know that everything's weird right now because of the pandemic, but even outside of the pandemic, writers, we work solo, but that's not necessarily what's best. A lot of people do work better in a group environment, and that's not really an option that we have as writers unless we do stuff like this. But the issue that I was having with the one person in it, right off the bat, the post was kind of combative because it was I don't understand why all this stuff is here. Like, it's, people like this. You might not like this, and that's okay, but a lot of people like this. But then the part of it where things got dirty was somebody saying that this actually has a negative impact on your writing. But again, it was weird because, I pointed out that like the Pomodoro technique is pretty highly respected in creativity, or in creative productivity. And they seem to say no. And when I went back to it again and said, a lot of people work better in pulses than in staring at a screen for hours on end. Some people do work fine in that. I edit great in that environment. We're all different. I don't write well just staring at a screen for hours, but I edit great. That's how my brain works. Same with when I'm doing book covers. Those I could just plow right through. I will literally work on a book cover for 4 hours straight and not even realize that I've lost all that time. So that's not, I don't normally do that sort of design during sprints because it doesn't work well for me, but I always have some sort of writing to do or editing. I can't edit in sprints. So when I said that, some people just work better in sprints than in marathons, so to speak. They said, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about YouTube. That, like, the fact that the fact that you're watching me and interacting with me, if you're even interacting with me, which is not calling anybody out for not interacting with me, but, or if you are using this time to go walk away and do something, I don't understand how anything is intrinsically different than if you were not with me on this. And as Courtney had pointed out, the discipline aspect of this, the fact that there's this perceived accountability. For me, there's absolute accountability because you're watching me. And for you, there is the perceived accountability that I am with you, that this is a group thing, that you could walk away at any second, but like, you've already made it here, you may as well do it right. I just don't understand this argument that the YouTube aspect of it is somehow detrimental to the creative aspect. But that person is a neuroendocrinologist, so she knows more than me. Gonna keep getting that jab in. I called her out on it, and she was like, I was just trying to say that I understand science. And the problem with that is that, like, in the same statement as saying, look, I come from a scientific aspect because I'm a neuroendocrinologist, that's totally a fine statement. But then she followed it up with not some sort of a writing scientist. And that is what I took exception to on that thing. My background is physics. It is what it is. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our next sprint. We are going to be doing 20s from here out. So we're putting 20 on the clock, and it is 8:24. So I will see you guys at 8:44 Atlanta time. Okay, we are back. Short story is going really weird. But it's progressing, and that's the important thing. I don't know. I'm making okay progress. I think I started today with about 700 words, and I'm at 1236 right now, so I'm getting some words in. And again, I have a stain on my shirt. I do. Sorry. I'm not apologizing for having a stain on my shirt. I am apologizing for groping myself on air. It's funny because it's one of those things where like the camera picks it up really well, but the eyeballs don't. Anyway, so I'm actually progressing on this. It's really weird. It's really cute. It's going to be really strange when I make it fit my content, my medium content, because I don't have sweet on my medium. And I feel like it's probably important to be really consistent about what you what kind of content you're posting there. So I don't know. It's okay. This is just going to be like one of my weirder stories. It's also, I haven't really been able to get a good handle on how to write, what's the right term for? I mean, I guess it's paranormal, but like, speculative romance, in short form. Contemporary is fine, historical is fine, because like it's a world we know already. So I don't have to do so much building on it, but like trying to build a world and explain things that there's no way that you're going to know outside of me telling you what's in my head is tricky when you only have like 2,000-ish words that you're aiming for. So I've got some alien romance that I've written as well, and that they're all in the same verse. So that hopefully that will help. Like once people read a couple of them, they'll be fine and it'll be okay without the world building. And that's what I'm trying to do right now with the shifter stuff, but also I'm just not really jamming with shifter stuff. So really quick, we got some comments happening. Creative Yankee, I'm going to say, if I pronounce that wrong, let me know. I got 182. La Monique got 230 and mixed in a little bit of editing in there too. That's fine. And Courtney with the big numbers, 730 on that one, and just created a pretty juicy plot twist. I promise I'm backing off of this subject right after this, but another part of that, like, diss on writing streams and how productive you can be was a comment about how your quality is going to go down with streams. And while I would say, oh, Ninka, thank you. While yes, for a lot of people, quality does go down, and I would argue that that's what the editing is for. I feel like I am not that outside of the norm for saying that sometimes the sprints are what make things like Courtney's pretty juicy plot twist happen. Sometimes the pressure of the sprint is enough to like just kind of like force you into a different thing than you were planning that can work really well. Also, my quality really isn't affected by it, but I've been doing sprints for years, and I feel like it's just like a brain training thing that at the beginning your quality is going to go down at the beginning, but ultimately it'll balance out. But La Monique, to your question, when you write on Medium, does it have to be original content, or can you place it on your personal blog? You absolutely can. I don't understand. I feel like it's a really weird, I don't know. Um, there's no exclusivity. I guess from their perspective, they're not paying you per story. They're paying you for read. And the actual hosting of your story takes so little resources from them that they don't care. Also, with Medium, you don't have to put your stuff behind a paywall. I do. Um, that so everything that hmm, I was gonna say all the reading that happens with my stuff, I do get paid for. That's not true. Everybody is allowed, whether they have a paid Medium account or not. But everybody is given 3 reads a month. If you read more than 3 things, you have to pay for it. And that is a subscription. It's, I think, $5 a month, $50 a year. But yeah, so where the hell was I going with that? Sorry. But yeah, in general, all of my reads I do get paid for, but like you don't even have to set it up like that. I was considering putting free stuff up there to get people looking at mine, but honestly, I don't think that's how it works. I'm fairly new to Medium. I'm still figuring it out, but at least to your question, absolutely, you could post it anywhere. And you can also, if you do have your stuff behind a free wall or a paywall, excuse me, there is a link that you can provide people so that they can read it for free, and it does not count against their 3 reads. So that's another thing with it. Yeah. So, and yeah, if sprints motivate you, then oh yeah, then done is better than perfect. If you're not motivated to write, like you said, editing. Yeah, I try to point that out about how if the quality isn't as good, like that's what editing is for. And I got well, a lot of people say editing is the hardest part. Well, yeah, okay, that's fair, but like if you never get to editing because it took you 10 years to write the book, then okay. Let's go ahead and do our next sprint. It is going to be 20 again. And there we go. I'll see you guys at 12 past. Okay, that is time. Let me know how you did. I got myself a new cup of coffee and I wrote. But the story is dragging. It's okay. I am at 1539. So I got what? I think 350 there. Is that math right? No, 250. Oof. Yeah, this story is dragging really bad. I've mentioned this before, but what I'm doing right now for Medium is I am in a challenge where we were given a list of tropes and we have to write a new trope every day. I am a good chunk into it. There are 24 total, and I have already completed 16 of them. So I have. Why does that math seem wrong? Oh, so I have 8 left. I am 2/3 of the way through it. And of course, that means that I have already used all of the ones that came to me quickly. And I have I'm not going to say that like all of my early stuff was good and all of my more recent stuff was bad. That's not the case at all. The funny thing is that the second one that I wrote is the one that is doing insanely well on Medium, but it's also not, it's like one of my least favorite stories on this list. But as we get further on, it's becoming harder for me to come up with ideas. And I'm at that point where like I'm kind of forcing myself and it's not going great. And I'm sure that there will be still some winners coming up. The one that I did yesterday, I think is fantastic. It's way too long, but I think it's fantastic. This one just is not clicking. And you know, those times when like sometimes when you try to force it, it works. And sometimes when you do, it does not work. That is where I am right now. And it's funny because this is an insta-love one. So I'm cheating and doing a shifter romance, which I do write shifter romance. And I've already done a shifter romance in this series, but this one is just not. I kind of came up with it at the last second and I thought I can plow through this and I was completely wrong. Completely wrong. Shadow stopped by. I'm assuming that Shadow has moved on, but if not, welcome. La Monique did 344 and has hit a total of 1110. Oh my God, why can I not say that number? It's too many ones. 1110 today. Thank you for being here today. Nico wrote 120, well done. And Courtney wrote 530, stopped to do some brainstorming. Feeling so hyped about where this story is going. That is awesome. I am looking forward to getting back to that again. I have 2 things that I need to do proofreads on. And I've got like a bunch of like administrative crap to do because that's, of course, when you're at that proofreading mode, that also means that you're at writing descriptions and marketing in whatever form you need and like updating websites and updating back matter. All of that gobbledygook is where I am at for the next couple of days. Hopefully I get enough of it today that I can put out a newsletter because I'd really like to get that going and start. I haven't announced my Medium project on my newsletter yet because I haven't had enough other content to go on it. And I knew that these 2 projects were going to be coming out soon, the two novels that were going to be coming out this month. So I held off. And now I'm like, I would like to see what happens when I share that on my newsletter. If I get more traffic from it or not. I'm not expecting it to happen either way. This is genuinely curious if there is a crossover in those groups or not. So yeah. Elizabeth has joined. We have 2 more sprints coming up, Elizabeth. So you still have plenty of time to get work done with me. And yes, Dominique, I hope to see you soon. Thanks for coming. Let's see, what time is it? Are we? If you were here for my yesterday afternoon show, you know that I'm having computer issues, and right now my desktop is DOA. So like I can't see this on my screen right now in that smaller mode. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our next sprint. It is 9:18. So this will be done at 9:38. And again, that means we'll have plenty of time to do one more sprint before we call it a day. So good luck. Go get some work done. Okay, time is up. We do have one more sprint to go. This story is just not going to be sexy. That's okay. Some of them just aren't going to be. I don't know. It's really funny. I've got like two extremes with what I write. I either write romance or I write like really, really extreme erotic. Not, I don't know the right way of saying it, but like, I don't know. I feel like there's got to be a story to tell. And this is not bashing anybody else who writes in the genre, but I feel like there needs to be a compelling story to tell. And if you're writing just like regular, fairly vanilla romps, it's not a story that I feel like needs to be told. Again, that's not a diss. It's just from like my perspective. I don't understand the allure of something where you're not learning anything, if that makes sense. Not like I'm going to say everything wrong in this one, and that's okay. Nika, thanks for joining. And also that's fantastic that you hit 40,000 on that. So there's gotta be, you know what it is? Here it is. Here, I could put it really simple that like covers bases without making it sound like I'm trashing on somebody else. A slice of life is not for me. I need like a full on grand story of some sort. So like escapades just don't work for me unless there's something really nuts going on with them, right? So I like writing the steamy romance because a lot of it for me, I do a lot of second chance because it's easier because the relationship is already established. But so like that works well for me. Having some sort of a romantic plot line, actual romantic plot line in it. And then like with my space stuff, they're aliens. They're crazy. I'm like developing species. Like it's, it's a lot more than just that slice of life. So if slice of life is your thing, that's fantastic. Do it. It's not for me, which unfortunately is an issue with medium. Because it's, certainly a lot of what is being written is just like basically slice of life, escapades. So I have to find that. I have to figure out a way to get there, but also be happy with my work, which is writing to market, right? So Elizabeth worked on a newsletter during that sprint, found images, wrote copy. The funny thing with this medium thing is I waste so much time looking for images now because you have to have an image on your story. And unless you do like a subscription where you get unlimited photos from a service, I don't know if Shutterstock even offers that. I'm assuming it'd be astronomical to do it, but I know that there are services where you just pay a subscription fee and get as many as you want. If you're not doing that, and I am not right now, you're just stuck scouring, Unsplash and Pexels and Pixabay. And I feel like I spend as much time doing that as I do like writing the damn story. And Courtney's new computer has arrived. That is fantastic. I have this dead computer right now that won't get past the boot screen. So I have that nightmare to also deal with. Am I going to do it today? I don't know. I'm back on the setup that I had before December with running everything off of my laptop. I really don't. I got spoiled by having a bigger monitor. Absolutely. and I have two monitors. The one monitor is a 39-inch TV. Like, I've got a gigantic monitor, but my actual, like, the monitor that I work on is the smaller one, and it is so, I never realized how dinky this laptop was until I got a regular monitor. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do, but also, like, I went through that fresh hell yesterday of getting everything signed back on in my laptop. I had like this OneDrive disaster where it turned out I have two different OneDrives. And then with that, I logged into the new one, or I logged into the other OneDrive. And it let me access all the files. And then when I opened them, they were like, oh, you don't have permission to edit these files. Like, I literally just gave you my credentials. You allowed me to download this stuff on my computer. What kind of security is this? Yeah. I'm sure it was a glitch and not an actual security issue, but that was really frustrating. There was a lot of frustrating yesterday. My laptop also took 20 minutes to reboot. It didn't say it was going through an update, but I'm assuming it was doing something like that. But after having stared at that blinking ring of processing for like 2 hours on my dying desktop, then to get that for 20 minutes on my laptop was pretty nightmarish. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to deal with trying to get my desktop running again today or if I'm going to leave it for tomorrow. I do have a graphic. I need to do a cover for the series that I just set up the pre-order for the final book, so I can also set up the pre-order for the entire series. I do absolutely have to do that graphic. I don't know if I want to deal with it on the little monitor, and the TV monitor is not a good monitor for the for doing graphic design. I guess it's the resolution. I don't know. I know what it is. I just don't know if that's the right word or not, but it's just not as clear. It's perfect for like what I'm doing right now. But it's not great. And like anytime that I'm streaming or anything, it's really great for video playback. It's just not good for actually like fine tuning images. Yeah, Courtney, not looking forward to this setup process. Every time I get a new computer, it becomes more difficult. The only salvation now, I will give credit where it is due. Chrome saving all of my passwords means that when I go from one computer to the other, I just go into Chrome to get all of my passwords now, and it saves my butt a lot. I have so many more programs to download, but thankfully Chrome saves that. And as I discovered yesterday, which I knew, but like in my blind panic of yesterday, I forgot, Chrome also saves extensions from computer to computer. As long as you are on the same account, your extensions will transfer over, which I do have a fair amount of extensions. So yeah. Okay. That ran long. That's okay. It's our final sprint. We're going to go for 20 minutes one more time. This will be the end of the show afterward. Tonight is the second episode of the Bob Ross Off. It is happening at 8 p.m. tonight with me and my in real life buddy, Lily. It will not be on this channel, though. It will be on my Twitch stream. Twitch is linked below. There's no actual link to that episode because of the way Twitch works. You just go to my channel, and when the show starts, it just automatically starts on my channel. So if anybody is interested in zenning out while me and a buddy paint a Bob Ross painting, that is happening tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Chloe Alice Balkin. Let's sprint. Okay, that is time, and that is about the end of my show. I actually feel like I did a really good recovery on this story. I don't know if it's any use or not. It's not like I'm going to do a massive edit to like fix the beginning, but I ended up having a message in the story and a cute ending and some sexy time, so I feel good about that. Also, I had some fun research. I've talked about this before, but the crazy thing doing shifter stuff is you end up having to look up a lot of animal facts. And this is between two cat species. And I had to figure out a good species as a third one to throw in that would be the right size for this situation. And like I needed something that was smaller than a tiger, which is like pretty much the biggest cat. So I needed something smaller than a tiger, but not like tiny. I'm thinking leopard, and I look it up, and just like one of those warnings to always be careful when you Google, there is a point to the story. Always be careful when you Google. When I Googled how big are leopards, the response that Google gave me, like that official, you know how they will absolutely like answer a question now and then give you websites to go to. If you ask Google how big a leopard is, Google will say that they are 68 pounds. That's not even close to how big a leopard is. That is tiny. That is medium dog size. A leopard is over 100 pounds. They average like 150. But I definitely had this moment of like, oh my God, leopards are tiny. I always thought they were bigger. I could pick up a leopard. No, I cannot, and I will not. And then there's like articles about like man-eating leopards. And I'm like, how do you get eaten by a 60-pound animal? What is happening here? Like, they're not pack animals. Anyways, so closing notes on this. Leopards are bigger than Google thinks they are. Writing sprints are great. Visit my Twitch channel this evening if you want to watch a Bob Ross painting get painted. And otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be back Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. You guys all have a great day. Thanks for joining. Go be productive.